Alright, so are wheelies bad for your motorcycle? Well, I feel like there's only one way to find out. Alright guys, welcome to a new video. So today we're going to talk about are wheelies bad for your motorcycle. And if you watch my videos, you know that I have, you know, well over 31,000 miles roughly on my GSX-R 750. Bought it brand new. I didn't wheelie this bike during the break-in period whatsoever. So after 1,000 miles, I would say honestly, like if I'm being humble, this bike has probably spent a couple thousand miles on the rear tire. You know, it's not like I go out and I just wheelie non-stop, you know, every chance I get. The fact is that years and years ago I used to do that when I was just learning wheelies, you know, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And the thing is now I'm very picky about where I wheelie, the conditions I wheelie in, as far as like wind and stuff like that, traffic. I don't like to do wheelies in traffic whatsoever. Like, the show-off part of me is over. Most of the time when I'm doing long wheelies, it's with Heather or a couple other people at most. A lot of times I'll do them by myself. So the thing is like I said, this bike has 31,000 miles. I've never, knock on wood, never blown a fork seal, never had any issues with the engine whatsoever. You know, regular maintenance has been done on this bike and that's it. My bike before that was a Kawasaki 1000, the Ninja 1000, and I wheelied that bike non-stop, the same as this bike, probably more so. I probably wheelied that bike more than this bike, but my wheelies were nowhere near as good back then. And the thing is I used to, like, I'd do them in traffic and stuff like that. I was just stupid about it, and you know, I didn't really care where and when I did them. But that bike, I sold it when it had like 25,000 miles on it, and same thing. Never had any issues with oil starvation. Never blew a fork seal, knock on wood. You know, that's not something we want to do, but it happens. And people blow fork seals without even doing wheelies, you know, hitting potholes and such like that. So my thing is, do I think wheelies are bad for your motorcycle? Absolutely not. Now, if you loop a wheelie, then yes, it can definitely be bad for your motorcycle. But I feel like if you're safe about it and you're doing it in like good conditions and you know what you're doing, and you know, you're not just riding the freaking wheelie to redline every single time you get it up. Like, not that I'm saying that is a bad thing. Like, that's part of learning wheelies, like chasing them out. 9 times out of 10, that's how people are going to learn how to wheelie. But I have no doubts in my mind that this bike will last me just as long with doing wheelies as it would if I were not doing wheelies. You know, this is a race replica bike. This bike is meant to be on the track, and you know, it's spent some time on the track, but a lot of its time has been spent on the street. You know, obviously I wouldn't have 30,000+ miles on this bike if I was only riding it on the track. But yeah, this bike has, you know, it's served me well, and I wheelie it, you know, occasionally. I don't wheelie it every time I ride it or anything like that, but I would safely say out of 31,000+ miles, it's probably spent well over 1,000 to 2,000 miles on the rear tire with no issues whatsoever. Now, a lot of people, I see comments all the time. I did a how to wheelie part 1 video years ago, and that video's got like well over 1 million views on it. And I feel like that video has taught a lot of people, helped a lot of people, but sometimes people will come to that video and they'll comment stuff like, I don't do wheelies because I don't want to destroy my bike or whatever. And I don't know if they're saying like they think the wheelie itself will destroy the bike, or if they think Like them looping it obviously could destroy the bike. Not necessarily every time, but yes, definitely looping a bike could destroy the bike. Abso-freaking-lutely. But like I said, I don't think that wheelies done in the proper manner are necessarily a bad thing for the bike whatsoever. I feel like it's one of those things that like people will use that as an excuse to why they might not want to wheelie. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying like you can't, you're saying that you don't wheelie because you really can't wheelie, and that's just the hard truth about it. But that's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I absolutely 100% do not agree with people saying that wheelies will damage your bike. Now obviously there are certain bikes that have like the oil pickup is in the rear, or I'm sorry, in the front, or something like that. Like I know like the Honda Grom for one is, you know, that's just one that comes to mind. I know there was like the R1 years ago, I believe. I used to watch a guy on YouTube named MFP Matthias, I think that was his name, and he used to do the sickest R1 wheelies. Like he would be like in Germany or whatever and just doing them for like miles upon miles, and like usually after like a mile and a half his oil light would come on, like the bike was getting starved for oil, and he would put it down. Now, was the bike getting starved for oil? I don't know. Like how long can it go without getting oil to it like it should be, where you're riding level? I don't know. Like I'm not an engineer, so I don't know these things, but I know his bike had like 20,000+ miles on it. I'm not even sure if he still rides it. I don't think he makes videos anymore. Last time I watched his video, he had a supermoto, and he was getting into like off-road and stuff like that. But anyways, that's aside from the story. The fact is that I believe that as long as you're not looping, you pay attention to how much oil is in your bike, which I do that regularly. You know, tire pressure is a big thing. A lot of people will drop the rear and they think they have to drop the front too. You don't want to drop the front. Like, not for me personally, because I ride street. I mean, I'm running 32 front, 30 rear, and I can do straight wheelies all day long. I can steer the bike, I can do whatever I want, change lanes, whatever I want on 30 psi in the rear. Now if you're doing lot stunning, yeah, you want to drop it down a bit, but I don't know much about lot stunning, but I would still assume you don't want to put lower tire pressure in the front, unless maybe you're doing like stoppies and stuff like that, but or endos, whatever you want to call them. But I don't know, like I keep my front 32 because that's just what feels good for me. And it has the pressure to, oh, there's a deer running across the road. Good thing I'm just chilling back here. See if we can see him. Hopefully he's got no buddies with him. I don't know where he went. He's somewhere in there. The road's pretty sketchy right now anyway. But yeah, like I said, I've never had any issues from doing wheelies. I had bikes previous to my Kawasaki Ninja 1000, like my Ninja 650, and I wheelied that bike. I had a KLR 650 that I wheelied that bike. You know, and I have lots of friends that have done wheelies on their bikes, and they've never had issues either. I mean, I have had a friend, you know, blow a fork seal or something like that, and usually that comes from slamming the bike down too hard or not having enough air pressure in the front to absorb that, versus, you know, it coming down and slamming and hitting the rim even if it's really low. But yeah, 100% disagree with anyone who says that wheelies will damage your bike, as long as you are doing them correctly. So that's all I have to say on that subject, guys. I just wanted to clarify because a lot of people message me all the time and ask me that, so I just wanted to make a little short video on that. So thanks for watching, guys. Peace, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next video.